Hello everyone, it's Natasha from Treasure Books. So I have the problem that most of us do, which is I have a lot of scraps. I've got a lot of paper scraps and I've got a lot of fabric scraps. So what I wanted to do is use up my scraps. And I started mindlessly making little clusters like this. So I would put 3 or 4 little pieces of fabric and attach them together with brad. And I made a few of those, and as I was making them, my ideas started evolving, and I was sort of incorporating a few more elements and a few different things. And I will show you, like, I started adding little bows, and then on this one here you can see this is like a little hidden sort of journaling little thing. I've got a bit of paper in there, so it's like a hidden journaling little spot that you can attach to the page. It can be a pocket, or it can be, you can put it in with a paper clip and things like that. So as my ideas were progressing, I started making, I'll just pop this away. I started making these, and these are what I'm going to show you how to make today. So I have it broken down into steps. I've written it all down and we'll go through it together. So firstly, I'll just show you one up close. So I've got a few different elements here. I've got my base, which is just a simple cereal box. And then I've got some paper underneath here. You can see two different book pages. And then I've got a few different fabrics. I've got some lace, and I've got a focal point and a stamp. That's all it is. But I followed the same formula for making all of these. And the way that I'm planning to use these is, firstly, I was planning to use it inside a journal. Let me see if I can find it. So let's have a look in here. So this is just a journal I made a little while ago. And then I can have this as, let me just find a page. Let's say here, for example. I will stick it down. I'll put a bit of glue here and here, stick it down onto my page, and it becomes a pocket. As long as, if you want to have it as a pocket or as an embellishment inside the journal, you don't want anything that's really bulky. So if you put a button, for example, it might be a little bit too bulky for inside the journal. Another idea that I thought I could use it is it can be like a little focal point on my journal. So perhaps this one doesn't go that well, but that's the sort of idea, something like this, right? So yes, there can be little focal pieces for front of your journals. Okay, so let me show you exactly how I made these. I'm going to make 2 on camera. That's the plan. And you can see exactly what I'm doing, and you can follow the steps as well. So first thing you need is your base. I've cut up my cereal box. I didn't measure anything. They're all different sizes. I just wanted to make sure that they have straight edges. Even that isn't something that is a must. Obviously, you can do whatever you want and the way that you want it. This is just the way that I did it. So I just cut them up and I inked my edges. The next thing you need is some scrap paper. I have a whole lot of scrap paper. I've limited myself just to a few pieces. Just so I'm not, overwhelming myself, which happens very easily. So I'm just going to, as I'm talking, I'm going to go through the steps. So you want to choose a few different elements, a few different maybe pieces of paper. So let's say, for example, I will lay it down like this. The whole point is not thinking too much. So you don't want to overthink it. You just want to kind of go with the flow, right? That's what it's all about. So I think I'm going to pop this one here, and then maybe I'll have a little something like this here. Most of that will be hidden anyway, but it still adds a lot of interest. So what I do is these bits, I just glued them down. We're going to be stapling the fabric on anyway, so I'm not a big fan of the glue stick, but for this project I've been using my glue stick. So you just want to glue it down. You don't want to put too much thought into it. You just want to sort of go with the flow. There we go. That'll do for that one. And then the next one, it's kind of like that, well, not really, but sort of like that Shannon Green's, I think it was called Journaling by Fives. You give yourself a certain amount of time and then you just do it. So the whole idea is that you're not overthinking, you're not being too you're not being a perfectionist, you're just plopping things down onto your page, and in this case it's onto our base. So now that we've done that, we've glued it onto base, the next thing you need is fabric. So I choose a few different elements. So I'm really loving this lace. Lace is always finishes it beautifully. So I'm just going to pop that down, maybe put a bit of fabric here like that, and maybe I will do something like this. Have a look how, yep, I'm happy with that. And then on this one, let's go with, let's say, a little bit of this beautiful silver fabric with these, what are they called? I forget what they're called. Maybe like that. And then I'll use a little bit of lace because I really like this lace, so why not? I'm not measuring, like I said. I'm just going to pop her down, and then I'll show you once it's all assembled and popped down, then you can sort of cut the edges and make it look the way you want it to look. So I think I'm happy with this. So you assemble everything, and then I'll get my stapler. You want to staple it down. So right there somewhere in the middle. That's it. That's stapled down. Let's have a look at this one. Assemble it. Just move that. Staple it down. Done. Okay. The next thing you need is a focal point. Once again, I just chose a few different things. I've got a butterfly here. In fact, I think that might go really well in that one. I've got some flowers. I've got this little bit that says dream. You can even like have little words down there. I think I like this one for, let's see, let me just, yeah, it goes like that. So that's looking good. I'm happy with that. And then you just want to glue that down. You want a glue that dries really fast, that works on fabric and cardboard. Just want to make sure, okay. Plop it down, glue it on, maybe hold it in place for a little bit, and then the butterflies. I'm doing it very haphazardly because I want to hurry up a bit so I'm not here all day. I'm not boring you to death. Okay, we've done that. So we've glued on top of the staple. You can use buttons, you can use brads, you can use whatever, but you want to have a little focal point. So focal point is something that draws the eye. So when you look at a little embellishment, it goes right to the focal point. And then I use my stamps down the bottom. So once again, I've got plenty of stamps, but I just used chose a couple. So for this one, I really love this stamp. It says love, but it looks like a signature. Oh, I'm not even in frame. So then I'm gonna use either black or whatever tickles your fancy really, but in this case I think I've got black on the butterfly here. So for this one I'm going to use black. I'm just going to stick that down, pop some ink there, choose my, where do I want it, maybe on the side here, stamp it down, done. Next, for this one I think I might use brown because that's black sort of wouldn't go. So I'm just going to close this, got my black one. Now this one will look really good with, I've got this stamp that says right now because of the time, the clock, but I don't think it's going to fit, so I didn't really think that through much. But maybe let's go with dreams. Let's do dreams. Get some ink on there, stamp it, done. And that's it. Really as simple as that, and very quickly we've got two little embellishments. And then after that's all sort of glued down and whatnot, you might want to trim, you know, you just want to perfect the look of it, I guess. So I think I'm going to trim this down a little bit like this. just so it doesn't have perfect edges. And then maybe this one's curling up a bit, so just for the sake of being a little bit different than the other one, I'm gonna trim it down with these scissors. And that's it. So simple. Oh, I've hidden the instructions. Let me do this. You stamp, you can use words, you can use images, you can use little birds, you can use butterfly, whatever, you know. You can play around and do different things. So I wanted to limit myself, like I said at the beginning. I only chose a few stamps. I only chose a few different fabrics. You can see here I've got, but I wanted to make sure that I've got some lace, I've got some just different types of fabrics, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And then you end up with all different little embellishments for your journals. What do you guys think? I was trying to sort of save some time, so I might have rushed through, but you can see that you can be very creative. You can do all sorts of different things. You come up with your own ideas as you're doing this, and each embellishment will look completely different and unique. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!